What is your expectation for this double L duo?
Well, listen, you know how I feel about what the Lakers are going to do this season, but as it pertains to LeBron
Remind everyone.
well, they're going to the Western Conference Finals. Okay. That's my position.
Yeah.
I think Houston obviously has the potential to ruin it by and I shouldn't say ruin because I got no problem being in H-Town, but I look at the Houston Rockets, obviously they're formidable enough where it could be them and Golden State, but I just have this sneaky suspicion that the Lakers are going to be there in the Western Conference Finals. As it pertains to Lonzo Ball, as Max has alluded to on many occasions, a lot will depend on his ability to shoot the three, to hit perimeter shots. Only shot about 30% from three-point range, which was an improvement based on how awful he looked earlier on in the season. I think LeBron and Lonzo are going to be good, really good defensively, because people forget that Lonzo's 6'6" and can defend. So they forget that. You know, you got to bulk up because you can push him around, but his length, that's going to make him very formidable. With Kuzma and Brandon Ingram and those guys, if they're committed to trying to play defense, they could cause some problems for a lot of teams because they're so lanky and so long. Offensively, fast break. Luke Walton wants to push the ball. If he is successful, I interviewed him the other day, just talking to him. If they're successful pushing the basketball, I think it will benefit them. My struggle with them is going to be those two from the perimeter, because if they're feeding off of one another, it's really off the fast break. You don't want them in pick and roll situations because somebody's got to pick and pop and what have you. And I don't see LeBron doing that too often. And I don't know if Lonzo is capable of that. So as long as they're pushing the ball up the floor, they'll be formidable. They'll definitely be formidable on the defensive end, which will create fast break opportunities. My trepidation about them involves their perimeter prowess, which I think is not going to be as formidable as I would like, because I'm not convinced that Lonzo Ball can shoot yet.
Yeah, and who is the guy on that team who puts the ball on the floor and can finish? Like, everyone says closer, and I'm always kind of like
LeBron.
Saying, oh, that's ridiculous. But LeBron is actually that guy, which sometimes creates an interesting dynamic with him, because he's also usually the guy with the ball in his hand, because he is the greatest basketball genius there is, right? As smart as some other players are. That's one of the reasons I think they went and got Rondo, because they can take the ball out of LeBron's hand, not only with another brilliant basketball guy, but a guy who's been there and can play big and can orchestrate and is a veteran and has championship pedigree. And I think the combination, the question is the LL duo, right? The LeBron-Lonzo duo. What effect does it have on the team? First of all, I think they're going to take more L's, speaking of LL, than people suspect, than you suspect. I don't think their win-loss record at the end of the season is going to be quite as good as people anticipate. I do think they're going to be dangerous in the playoffs. And the reason is, I recall Magic's first game back. After HIV, he came back briefly, and he played power forward, but like a point forward. And the Lakers lost that first game he came back. But, boy, was everyone passing the ball. He had a contagious effect, the passing and the unselfish play. And everyone was like, well, I'm playing with Magic Johnson. I want to play like Magic Johnson. Sometimes that can be a problem if you don't have the guys who say, okay, I'm going to shoot the ball. Lonzo's not a shooter. Rondo's not a shooter. They do have some guys who can. Hart and KCP can shoot the ball. Ingram will learn how to shoot the ball. He can put the ball on the floor. But what I see most of all from that pairing is a contagious effect in terms of sharing the ball. This team is going to move that ball.
They've been doing it in preseason, but what I would say as a retort to all of that is, who's to say that's going to benefit Lonzo? And here's what I mean. Rondo can play the point. KCP can play some point if necessary. Ingram. So I'm saying there are a multitude of options that the Lakers have put in place that takes Lonzo Ball off the court. So when we say LeBron and Lonzo, well, we know LeBron's going to be on the court.
Well, I have a counter to that.
Sure.
Which is, it's in LeBron's best interest to make sure that Lonzo is on the court and that Lonzo is doing well and that Lonzo looks like a valuable player. Because there are tradable, you want to create, if you're the Lakers, as many tradable commodities on your team as you can. Because if a superstar becomes available this year and the Lakers want to hold on to either Kuzma or Ingram, Lonzo's going to have to look attractive enough to other teams to package with one of those two to get something good. And so I think Lonzo actually will play plenty of minutes. He will have the ball in his hand a lot more than people suspect, and that includes with Rondo on the team. And he will have numbers, because that will translate into a more attractive trade asset to other teams.
I don't think that LeBron wants Lonzo gone. I think that LeBron wants to be a part of grooming Lonzo into being that stellar point guard that they envisioned him being when they drafted him number 2 overall. And I think that LeBron is going to take a special interest. He genuinely likes this kid. And I think he's going to take a special interest in this kid. And I don't think Lonzo is going anywhere. But that may mean that there's a maturation process that has to take place as we're going along. And that might lead to Lonzo sitting down a little bit more. If that happens, how's LaVar Ball going to react to that? And what kind of distraction is that going to create?
And then does Lonzo stay on the team?
And then does Lonzo stay?
Which goes back to my point.
Stay tuned.
You better make him look good.
Yeah.
Lonzo better look good one way or another while he's
Here's
developing.
what we do
Well, you
know.
could
He
say-
tweaked and worked on his jump shot.
Well, stop that.
He did.
So who cares?
It's going to take a lot
It's
more
going to take a lot more than tweaking.
He shoots
He's
it from the
trying,
wrong
guys.
shoulder.
When you look at the game of basketball,
Yeah.
when you shoot that bad with your form,
Did he work on it?
That is a reclamation
on it?
project.
Was it a fact, what I said?
I'm just
Was it an
saying.
opinion?
It was a fact, but I'm just like I'm just saying
You're
that
like there's a long way to go.
long way to go.
As Coach Mackey teaches a steady bucket. It's
steady
a
bucket.
hinge. It's straight. It has to be a hinge from the shoulder, the elbow. So when you're shooting it from the wrong shoulder, he brought it from here to here. He's got like a couple seasons to go to get it over.
All I said is he's working on it. You're jumping all over me.
Do you know who, speaking of assists, do you know who Coach Mackey, he names moves after different players. Crossover, get your knee down like Kyrie Irving. The shot is after Klay Thompson.